And that makes me think, Elsie, with the Referendum 90 campaign and the work that folks are doing in support of comprehensive sex ed, can you share with us some of the ways that folks could be involved in supporting access to comprehensive sex ed?
Yeah, so right now we are focused on the referendum, but I always love to use Jessica as an example of someone who is involved at her local school district, and that can really make such an impact. So after the referendum, assuming that we get this thing approved, school districts are going to definitely be important to get involved with. But right now, the referendum, we are working to approve R-90 with the Safe and Healthy Youth Coalition, which is over 60 organizations throughout Washington State. Down here in Vancouver, Longview, all the way up to Olympia and Tacoma and Seattle and Bellingham, and then all the way east to Spokane and Walla Walla. We've got such a great reach, which is really exciting. And we are working to really connect with those voters and talk to them about why they should be approving Referendum 90, what comprehensive sex ed is, and why it's important for our kids to get that. So there's lots of different ways to get involved. We're going to be doing things here at the local level in Vancouver, but you can also feel free to, I think Austin put in the chat, our website, and then you can also feel free to share your story with us in our coalition, and follow us on social media as well to really get some updates on what's going on.
Yeah, and yes, I dropped that in there. It's the approve90wa.org website. That if folks want to check that out, that's a good place to get info and to connect. Would that be a good place for folks to connect about the campaign?
Yeah, so that's a great place. You can email us at I think it's info at approve90wa.org. But that's a great place to connect. And then you can also follow us on social media for, I think, some folks are wondering how to get some talking points. Social media, approve90wa is going to have a lot of different great talking points. So definitely follow us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We'll be there.
Great. And then, so for folks who've never been involved in a campaign before, that can sound kind of scary. I'm thinking back to Jessica's experience, right? Of like, what do you mean I have to testify, right? So could you maybe give us a couple examples of what does it look like to be involved in a campaign? And then maybe also if folks aren't able to get involved in a campaign right now, are there other things they can do that are supportive without being part of the official sort of campaign or political process?
Yeah. So on the campaign side, we are really working to have that one-on-one conversation with voters. Due to COVID, it's going to look a lot different than in past years, but we are working to do weekly phone banks where we will be talking to voters on the phone or via text message. And then we're also going to be working on doing some contactless lit drops in our communities, also down here in Vancouver. So not interacting with folks like we would at the doors in normal years pre-COVID, but still giving folks literature to be able to learn more about this referendum and what is going on. So that's like direct action that if you're really into this issue or just like into wanting to get involved in a campaign, that would be a great way to start. And you can definitely reach out to us via that email, and also I'll probably end up being the one to connect with you if you're down here in Southwest Washington. But if you're a little more nervous to get involved, whether it's your first time ever really on a campaign, or maybe you just don't have the capacity time-wise to get involved, there's a lot of great ways. Again, following us on social media, we're all at this point, most of us, I shouldn't say all, but the vast majority of us are on social media in some sort of form. So you can feel free to follow us and share our posts. And then doing some of that relational organizing, talking with your friends and family, coworkers, and everyone in Washington State that you know, and talking about what comprehensive sex ed means, why it's important to you, and why folks should be approving this referendum. That allows us to reach a whole lot more voters than we would just, by the hand dialing of phones. So relational organizing, everyone has the power to do that, and it's super impactful. And then if you do have the capacity money-wise, we are always looking for donations. Donations do help us get literature to people's doors, and they help make sure that we get on the airwaves and everything like that. I do understand that COVID right now has been an impact on most folks financially, but I do like that there are other ways to get involved, like relational organizing as well. So there's something everyone can do out there.